Our minerals are not a curse. They are our strength for too long. Burkina Faso's wealth was taken, while our people remain poor today. With this partnership, we choose a new path. Processing our gold, our manganese, our future here on African soil, no foreign power will own our destiny. This is not just business, it is sovereignty. We rise for dignity, for independence, for Africa's tomorrow.
Imagine this, Ibrahim, standing before the world, announces a billion-dollar mineral trade deal with India, not just for farming tools or aid but for gold, manganese, and critical minerals buried deep beneath Burkina Faso's soil. A deal that might redefine how Africa sells itself to the world or how the world sells Africa its future. The real question: why? Would a young leader rewrite decades of international agreements to sign such a deal now? And who really gains when gold bars and rare earth exports start flowing overseas? To answer that, we travel behind the headlines straight into the dust and the boardrooms shaping Africa's resource future, since 2022. Has been more than just Burkina Faso's youngest head of state. He has been a symbol of change. He nationalized key mines, stopped exporting raw gold, and began building a gold refinery at home. In 2024 and 2025, the state took over multiple foreign-owned mines, collecting over 11 tons of gold in just months. This isn't just policy, it's a calculated pivot toward resource sovereignty. And when India stepped forward with a massive mineral trade proposal, saw a chance to turn sovereignty into strategy. But how did this trade become more than just minerals and instead a geopolitical turning point? India knows minerals, they need them for smartphones, defense, infrastructure. By partnering with Burkina Faso, they're not just securing minerals, they're setting the terms for them. This deal likely includes partnerships in refining, supply chains, and future projects beyond gold, perhaps lithium, bauxite, or manganese. India's pitch is simple: we respect your sovereignty, we'll build your refineries, we'll train your people. A message that plays beautifully for a leader aiming to break free from Western dependencies, and it makes gamble feel less risky until we realize it is as much about control of data, tech, and mining narratives as it is about minerals. Minerals are lifelines. For Burkina Faso, gold makes up over 70% of export earnings. Extracting more value locally by refining instead of exporting raw ore is a game changer. Is building a domestic gold refinery capable of processing 400 kilograms a day, creating thousands of jobs and keeping revenue inside the country. This isn't symbolic, it's tangible power. It's about saying, we mine, we refine, we profit. But as Burkina strengthens its grip on minerals, the question emerges: will those gains stay in Africa or exit through foreign-run pipelines next? Ease moves haven't gone unnoticed. China, already deeply invested in African mining and infrastructure, sees India's new footprint in West Africa as a challenge. Western nations, accustomed to controlling African minerals, are watching anxiously as Africa tries to rewrite the rules. What started as a resource deal has become a stage for global influence where who owns the mines can shift loyalties and alliances, and smack in the center is Burkina Faso, trying to steer a path between dependency and autonomy. This isn't just about corporate contracts or national prestige, it's about local lives. Artisanal miners, who used to rely on informal channels, now find themselves navigating new systems. Small-scale operators struggle with permit suspensions and rising standards they can't afford. Wikipedia. Meanwhile, jobs in refineries and mining maintenance hold promise, but only if local technicians are trained and empowered. Otherwise, the infrastructure becomes another foreign-controlled apparatus in the hands of. The deal must deliver for both the miner breaking ground and the miner who sells their gold by the porch. Modern mineral deals bring modern oversight, digital monitoring, supply use tracking, revenue transparency. With Indian partnerships might come tech to trace every ounce of metal, but that same tech could funnel control back to India. So the big question becomes, is Burkina Faso gaining smart sovereignty or smart tech-powered dependency? This isn't just about Burkina Faso. Africa is home to cobalt, lithium, platinum minerals that power cars, phones, wars. Whoever controls them holds strategic leverage. India entering Africa's heart could reshape not only trade, but alliances, military ties, and continental autonomy. This deal could become a template or a trap for African leadership, a chance to lead or a mirror of past dependencies. For decades, African nations exported raw minerals only to buy them back as expensive finished products. Gold mined in Burkina Faso would vanish into foreign vaults, only to return as Swiss bullion or Dubai stamped jewelry. Has promised to break that cycle. The India deal is not only about extraction but domestic processing. Plans include refineries in Bobo Dioulasso and Ouagadougou, manganese smelters feeding regional steel, and training centers for local engineers. Industrialization is the dream, but it demands energy, infrastructure, and skilled labor. If successful, Burkina Faso may finally convert its soil into sovereignty. If not, it risks repeating a history of false dawns at a mine-in. Workers dig with pickaxes. We hear about billions, one miner says, but our children still go hungry. For them, a refinery in the capital matters little if jobs and clinics don't reach the villages. What good is gold if it doesn't shine in our homes? Another adds. These voices expose the fragile hope surrounding. Ease gamble. If the deal enriches only elites, it risks becoming just another promise broken on Africa's soil. Africa's mineral wealth has often been a curse. Congo's cobalt powers the world's batteries, yet its miners live in poverty. Guinea's bauxite feeds global industry, while locals lack electricity. Knows these stories. He has vowed not to repeat them, but history has sharp teeth. Multinational corporations are experts in contracts that look sovereign yet drain wealth. India may present itself as a partner, not a master, but the question remains. Can any foreign power truly align with Africa's independence? This deal isn't happening in a vacuum. France, long dominant in Burkina Faso, sees its influence eroding. Russia, already present through security ties, views India's arrival with curiosity. And China, India's rival, is watching closely. The Sahel has become a new frontier of global economic chess. Minerals under Burkina Faso's soil are drawing in powers from east and west, each with its own agenda. Sits at the center, both player and pawn in a much larger game. Grand speeches often hide danger in the footnotes. Tax exemptions, export quotas, arbitration in foreign courts. Such clauses have crippled African states before. If poorly negotiated, Burkina Faso could lose more than it gains. A refinery built in Ouagadougou might carry the flag, but who controls profits once the gold bars are stamped and exported? This is the knife's edge. Either the deal secures sovereignty or silently surrenders it. Across Africa, leaders are watching. If he succeeds, others may follow, cutting similar deals with Brazil, South Africa, or fellow BRICS members. A wave of resource nationalism could reshape the continent.